done this before. Drown out my problems, let me When I've been up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Mike 40. It's our time, guys.
On first down, Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. Gets through, and now an opening. 25 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this one complete to Smith. Touchdown, Chicago! In for the score as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Go.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Johnson's got it complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Finding room at the 30 and all the way up to the 31-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
Let's put that team on the hook.
Alert, 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 alert.
Now Trubisky on first down. That's complete to Robinson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Check 52.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Complete. Smith has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On second down now, it's Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, touchdown number 15 of the year, as the Bears push further out in front. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And some room to roll now. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as the Bears push further out in front. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Let him know, let him know.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He gets this one to Johnson. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
15 lining, 15 lining.
Now back to throw. Open man here is Foster. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him plays like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
At their 49-yard line.
Take me out. Here we go. Alert.
Man, touch.
Alert 3.
Hey, ball. X3. 218, chop it.
On second down, it's Cohen. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
I smell fear in that offense.
Hey, alert. Hey, Charlie.
Trubisky will throw. The catch made by Miller. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Trubisky. He finds Robinson. Touchdown, Chicago! 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the end. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and this one will be brought back to the 22. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Ball.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Or you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch 10, watch 10.
Lock in, lock in.
Watch 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Now it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the twins.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Hey, Echo!
Now Trubisky to throw. Caught by Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. With his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Makes the score Bears 35, Lions nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there.
And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Hey. You got
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This will be taken at the 10. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing deep for Galladay. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They're going to try and throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 45. And the